Oh, I did. When I was recording, I did hit your mic.
What the hell, man?
I hit your mic like 3 times.
Like, look at this shit. It is so... What the hell?
I had no choice. I had to record.
What have you done to my boy?
I had to record right in front of the PC.
So, turn it.
I did. I hit the back of it.
Okay, then you're doing something very wrong. Like, how the hell are you hitting the back of it?
Because I turned it all the way that way.
Turn like this. How could you possibly hit the mic in this position?
I didn't think I could hit it the other way either.
Yes. How could you? Like, I'm like, how in the fuck is that possible, man? What? Like, you're sitting over here, right?
Oh, I wasn't sitting.
Yeah, we need to
Figure this out games that are not sitting because we can't. We cannot.
Well, I'm not gonna have another one for a while. And the next one's gonna have updated shit. So it's already figured out.
But yeah, it's like we need to.
It was an emergency record. I had to do it.
Yeah, it's like we need to.
The issue is, your room has more room than my room,
Yes. No, I get it.
and I can't do it in my room anymore.
I get it. I'm not upset. I'm just saying, like, we need to get this shit solved. It's like,
Anyway, we
this is
sound
the big
fine.
do
Hello-
we?
Hello, people. It's us, Two Game. I'm your host, Younger Bro.
I am your maybe here host, Older Bro.
And we are the Scarlet Spider today.
Apparently.
And my throat is no longer hurting. Yay.
It's a miracle.
But I'm about to go back to work again, and I caught something there, so
Of course.
probably
you do.
gonna catch it again.
Probably.
What sucks is if I'm in the cold section all day, my nose is gonna be sniffling for the rest of the week.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm in there multiple times, which I'm sure I will.
Younger Bro fucked up this like setup real bad with just hitting it.
I only hit the back.
Like, yeah, I don't know what happened, but like this thing is like way wrong now. Like, why the fuck does it keep doing?
I thought I always did that.
not this bad.
I mean, you might as well play the game. I'm gonna be spending the next 15 minutes doing this crap.
I'm trying to remind myself what I'm doing. Web throw and 100 enemies out of the air. Okay.
还是照常指挥。当然，在他给我们力量时，我们也给他力量。有人提出还有先入都不是他的力量，你挡不住我们。
Ooh. Ooh, that guy's got a broken back.
你会亲身
As he deserves.
远在那儿吗？我去救他。
I didn't think I was that close to him. Okay, I gotta not do it on the bridge.
Oh, by the way, guys, gaming-related news. For anybody who is interested in the gaming industry, and by the gaming industry, I mean the gaming news industry, the Escapist is destroyed again. I don't know what's going on, but apparently Yahtzee quit, which means that site is now dead, because that site was only worth the weight of Yahtzee. So it was only worth its weight in Yahtzee's blood, sweat, and tears. And now it has none of those things. Although, unfortunately, it does still have the branding, which is going to be disappointing. So, I hope none of you guys are fans of The Escapist, because they are probably never coming back. Like, how do you recover from losing Yahtzee Croshaw? Impossible.
In other news, we have adjusted our list again. We were having issues where there was too many games in the stream slots, so we've looked at it closer. Honestly, I didn't think I was moving over that many games. I probably moved over well over 30 games. But now Let's Play slot's kind of big, but we can get through Let's Play pretty quickly.
Hello, Mr. B.
Hey, Mr. B.
Time for a shift change, huh? Good. Because these other guys, not impressed with.
Yeah, unfortunately, guys, I can only do one benchmark at a
I
time
can
right
see
now.
It's more like illegal weapons. And this might come as a shock, but I don't think they're really the smoke.
The hipster assassins are gonna be so disappointed.
It's not that I'm not glad to see more of you. It's... Oh, no, wait. It is that I'm not glad to see more of you.
Another news. Apparently, there's going to be yet another Garfield movie.
Yep.
A new one. And honestly, it looks good. My issue is they keep getting Chris Pratt for shit because he's Garfield. Like, I love Chris Pratt, but why has he been so many, like, of the new main leads of upcoming, like, animated movies? I guess he's thinking he works better as a comedian for like kids or something. I don't know his reasoning. All I know is
More demons. I don't suppose we could settle this with some fruit pies.
he was Mario and now he's gonna be Garfield. Give me your shit. Ooh.
Oh, there it is. Second win. Wow. Wow. That is a fucking power play of a name. Woo!
MJ, call the police.
Se-
I've got the place
imagine that
Stop.
a
Anytime we get
company
guns off the
fires
street,
the
it's
editor-in-chief, then the entire team who likes the editor-in-chief quits, makes a new YouTube channel, a new company,
life a lot harder
and
than
new
it used to be.
Patreon,
And
and
these
name
are
it
the TA
Second
publication
Wind.
system.
Just
Thanks,
like,
MJ. I owe you
fucking hell, the power play. Just all of that. Fuck that shit. This is our second wind. This is our second attempt.
Local units need a response to a robbery.
Uh,
But yeah,
Holy
guys,
shit.
after today, the streaming schedule will change. So, we're not looking forward to it.
Someone needs a nap.
Motherfucker, I don't want to do that. No!
What's that?
Yeah, they literally launched. So, they literally created this channel, and it has 170,000 subscribers in a week. That's what happens when everyone supports. Because that's the thing. The people have been saying for a long time. If you looked at The Escapists, the comment sections were saying for a long time, we're not here for you. We're here for Yahtzee Croshaw. We want Zero Punctuation to have its own channel. They have wanted that forever. The reason they never did it was because the moment Zero Punctuation has its own channel, no one will view The Escapist ever. Well, now, apparently, they have a new channel, and there's a new Zero Punctuation. I think it's called Ramblematic. Yeah, Ramblematic. And yeah, everyone just immediately leaves because that's where they want to be. The new home for the former team of the Escapist. Yeah.
The fuck? Oh, I'm using Impact Web. Didn't mean to do that.
Now he isn't the editor-in-chief. He's the director of content. That's an upgrade.
Spider-Man, I'm getting reports of shots fired.
I can confirm that. They're not hitting anyone, though.
Try to keep it that way.
Since I'm the only one they're aiming at, I am totally on board with that.
Oh, Lord.
Isn't it sad that a bunch of criminals have
Oh,
more
I
friends
love
than me?
corporate fuck-ups. When you just do something that you bankrupt your own company. Yeah, Escapist just did that. That brand name is dead. They've got nothing left.
Get away with that! I'll kill you!
But yeah, guys, if we hit 50 episodes, and we're still not done with benchmarks, we might just move to Miles Morales and then come back and finish the benchmarks. Maybe.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
Because this is episode 40. I
Yeah.
knew it was going to be like another 20 streams of this.
Yeah.
And guys, we're at the time increase.
Just once, I'd love for the people rushing into the fight to be on my side. Heck, I'd even settle for neutral. Look out for Sweaty! What the hell?
Yeah, how are you doing, Mr. B? How goes your NaNoWriMo?
Not going back inside. Not getting away with that. Oh God! Keep your feet on the ground. Captain, the inmates and all their guns are webbed up and waiting.
Thanks. No way we could have taken them without collateral damage. I hope the locals appreciate you.
By the way, guys, while I was sorting the list, I did adjust for Christmas games. So pretty much after my next series, we're now doing Christmas adjacents.
Yeah, I also noticed that you added, I think it was you added a lot of Halloween games.
Hmm?
Like when you were doing the resorting.
Yes and no.
Yeah, there's quite a few that seemed like it moved over to for Halloween.
Some of them are games I'm just like, no, I want to play it right now. So I have a few games on there that I'm just like hard setting I want to play right now.
Well, no, I'm just saying it felt like a lot of the it felt like there was a lot more Halloween games on the list than there was like yesterday. But that might just be that they moved from Let's Play to stream.
Also, I didn't move over that many Christmas games because we're probably only going to get through 3.
Yeah. Well, no, that's the thing is that
Like 2 to 3.
yeah. I think a good way to look at it is that it's more just that when we're that the way I've always viewed it is that what's on the specials page is kind of like when that time of year happens, we stop looking at the normal page and we look at the specials page and we just pick games from that and then kind of put them in at the front. We don't really plan for them in the list. Is we just say, I'm feeling like playing this game right now. It's Halloween. Let's put this game in. So.
But yeah, like you, I have games that I'm just like, no, I want to play it right now.
Yeah.
But some of those games, they could be in multiple categories.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know at least 3 of those games I have on the upcoming list could be classified as Christmas, even though they are probably mainly Halloween.
Yeah.
Because, guys, how we classify Christmas games is pretty much any playlist that has over 100 views. As in, if a series has over 100 views, then if there's any more games to that series, we put it in the Christmas list.
Yeah.
Because we figured that's what you guys want to watch.
Well, it's not even really that. I view Christmas games as a present to ourselves. It's more just the adjacents, I should say, not the specials. But like the adjacent games are just more like
Yeah, the Jason.
they're presents to ourselves, just like popular series that we want to play a new game of. So I don't necessarily consider it popular as like the audience considered it popular. I'm fine saying big name series. So like even if it wasn't popular, just like if it is a popular game franchise.
That place is supposed to be a bespoke furniture manufacturer.
From what I can see, it's more like illegal weapons. And this might come as a shock, but I don't think they're really bespoke.
The hipster
So yeah, we hope you enjoy the upcoming games that we have selected.
Yeah.
If we
I
get
have.
to
I
some
was
of
gonna say
them.
I have not selected anything.
Yeah, because you have, what, one more hard-coded series that you want to play?
Well, Let's Plays are more.
Well, actually, no. We can go back and finish Spyro now. So you kind of have to go back to that after your next series.
Yes, exactly. That is how it's working. Is that we have Dragon Ball Legacy Goku, then we have my next series, and then it's Spyro, and then we open back up. And that'll probably be about the time that I start doing, like I'll do a Christmas game. Because you are doing.
Fuck?
Is the Christmas special this year a stream or a Let's Play? I can't remember.
Oh, I refuse to do any stream specials right now.
No.
Yeah, so any of the specials that are coming up are all going to be Let's Plays
For
a
least,
while.
Yeah, I was gonna say for at least some time.
Sorry about that, guys. Just I am trying to get the stream import done as quickly as I can.
Yeah.
And I have done the best I could to minimize it, and unfortunately it got bigger because I changed jobs.
Yeah.
Well, actually, now it kind of got smaller, so
Yeah,
it got bigger and then it got smaller.
It got smaller, but also stuff changed. So
Now, I'll explain more about that later when we do the next import.
yeah,
It's not going to be for a while because I'm going to be on this game for who knows how long, and then I'm going to beat Miles Morales.
yeah.
He's only one man.
MJ, call the police. I've got the place secured.
Nice job. Anytime we can get guns off the street, it's a win. That's all the places I could link to Martin.
Yeah, the other thing we still have to do, guys, is go through all the games and check and see if any of them are actually 2-player, which is going to be a much
And easier
more
for the DA to
arduous
build a case against
check.
him. Thanks, MJ. I owe you dinner.
I can't. We've been on Spider-Man for so long. I
Mhm.
can't even remember the series we did before this one. So what was the game I played before Spider-Man?
Budokai Tenkaichi 3,
Right.
the game that shouldn't have been a stream, which helped prompt all this.
Yeah. If I would have did the tournaments, it would have been a little bit of a longer
It
series,
still wouldn't have
but
been that long.
oh bullshit! I wasn't even near that.
He got him.
Yeah, I might go back and do the tournament, maybe,
Yeah.
if I want to enough. It kind of made me mad. Like, I hate the tournament mode in Tenkaichi 3. I love the game, love the story, love the gameplay. But,
Yeah.
We'll take you alive or dead. This doesn't care.
I think that is one of the things that I do want to look into changing is I think I want to cut down going back to games. I think I want to make it so that
I
it's
mean, if I did the tournament, it wouldn't take that long.
yes,
like
but
2 or
I'm
3
saying I
episodes.
think I kind of want to do away with that concept generally of like outside like mobile games we sort of have exceptions, but like it's I kind of even want to get rid of them in mobile games. I kind of want to make it so that when we stop playing the series, we are done with the series. Period. It's like if we're playing a game, at least right now, it's like if we're playing a game that is going to take so long that we can't finish it quickly, then I feel like that's just something we should not be playing until, like, this is a full-time job. Because it's like we literally cannot handle series that long.
That's why we make them seasonal.
Sorry, but
Yeah.
we're all out of the complimentary
Well, and that's what I'm saying. It's like my policy has always been that Let's Plays should not have seasons. Period. And to an extent, I'm kind of the same way with streams. I really don't want those to ever have seasons. It's like if we're
Well, that's the point of us, like, say if a series is taking too long and we get to 50 episodes, that's the point of us making-
exactly,
like, quitting and coming back later.
yeah,
And that's making it seasonal in a way.
yeah, it is, and that's kind of the thing is I would like to the direction I would like to go is that I would like to make it I would like to minimize
Don't tell me.
as
Hiding
much as
drugs in the
possible
concrete mix.
That's my theory.
any seasonal content.
Probable cause to get on site
It's
confirmed.
And sometimes you can't control it.
I know, but I'm saying that's what I'm saying. It's I would like to reduce the times we can control it to pretty much zero, and it only be the times we cannot control it. Like stuff like National Park Girls having another chapter that's not like that hadn't released when we played the game. That's fine. Undertale or not Undertale, Deltarune not being a done game. We played the first 2 chapters, and then we are waiting on the rest. Those are things we literally can't control. We could not play the game until it fully releases, but it may never release. So we're kind of just playing what's available, and it's kind of an accepted thing of like we'll play it when we can when it comes out. But stuff like, for example, stuff like Breath of the Wild. I do not ever want us to go back to that and be like, we're going to get all 900 Korok seeds. And I don't necessarily think either of us wants to do that. But it's a situation where, like, I don't want that to be a thing we think of. that we
I want
play
to
a
go
game.
back to freaking finish Trial of the Sword.
Yeah,
Like,
but
it pisses me off because I've completed it before and I know I can.
yeah, but it's one of the stuff like that where it's like, what I don't want us to do is I don't want us to plan for games to be seasonal because some of the content is so long that we know that the only way we do it is if we do it seasonal. I would rather say we're not going to do this. Basically, if the options are don't do this content or do this don't do this content or make it seasonal, I would rather us not do the content. So when that's an option, I would like that to be the direction we tend towards. But when it's not optional, when it's a thing where we don't have a choice but to bring the game back later, that's fine. But it's kind of like, to me, I don't consider the way, maybe a good way I'll describe it. I don't consider Sonic Unleashed to be an unfinished game. Like, I consider that as a game we finished.
Captain, I've got
We
six
just could
guys
not
and all the
beat the main
probable
story.
cause you need. Wake
So
up and
our
work.
end was that point in the main story
Fifth
where we
grade
stopped
run things from
being
inside.
able to play more
He's
of the
gonna
game.
find out why long-distance
Same with
relationships
kind of
don't work out.
SpongeBob the movie. Was it the movie or was it Battle for Bikini Bottom?
No, we
was
we
the
haven't
movie.
played Battle Bikini Bottom yet.
You're right, because you're doing the rehydrated version, I think.
I'm doing both.
Yeah.
But anyway,
But it was the movie.
it was the movie.
Yeah. Same kind of with the movie.
I
where
stopped with the movie because the platforming was just ass, and the not the
Yeah.
characters, the enemies were also
yeah.
ass.
So we got to a point where we could no longer play more of the game, and so we stopped playing the game. And that's kind of the way I'd like to treat all series, in a sense of like, I don't want us to view that as we didn't finish the game. I want us to view it as we got to the point where we were done with the series. And that was the point where we were done with the series. That doesn't mean that we should just throw out content and make the series, like, and just never finish series, but it's like, yeah. Basically, I want us to have tempered expectations. So if the game is going to take over 50 episodes to do 100%, then that probably means we shouldn't be doing 100%. Or we should be doing it as a, like, if it's a Let's Play, we should be doing it as a stream. Or if it's a stream and it's already 2 hours, then we probably shouldn't be playing this game right now because we literally can't spend enough time on that game to
I
do it
made
fast
sure
enough.
to adjust for Let's Plays that I'm doing 100%. Like, I checked the 100% time to see if it was, like, over the average time.
Yeah.
So I adjusted for that.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Just to make sure what you're saying. Are you saying you changed some of the times on the page?
No.
Okay.
I just moved games accordingly from how long to beat.
Okay, yeah. So the ones
Like,
that were...
I looked up the game on how long to beat. I looked up the 100% for those games.
Okay.
And adjusted them to see if I wanted them in Let's Play or not.
Yeah. Because here's the thing. If you need to... like, if you're moving some of them and you look up the time and you're using the 100% time, it's fine if you adjust it. Just make sure that you, like, put it... Just, like... I don't know how we color it, but, like... Just make sure that we color it in a way that I know, hey, this has been changed.
Tried, but
Like...
I don't think you would have understood it unless I
Yeah.
explained it to you. So I just...
Yeah.
I did what I could.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey, you must be the JP.
That's the big thing, is that the color scheme is just to let us know how accurate the times are likely to be.
But anyway, talking about seasonal series, like, say I play Jurassic World, the game.
Yeah.
That kind of game I do want to come back to, even though it will take fucking forever.
Yeah.
But once I also beat the main story, I also want to try to collect every dinosaur. At least one of every single one. I don't care if I get it to, like, max level.
Yeah, exactly.
And to me,
'cause-
that's when I would
yeah.
end that game. And I don't want to look at a series saying, oh, this is going to take way too long. We shouldn't ever play it again.
These other guys?
here's the thing.
I really
I
don't wanna do
understand that, but the problem isn't the way I'm looking at it. I'm not looking at it as a. It, I'm looking at it from a practical perspective. I'm not saying we shouldn't go back to games. I'm saying we shouldn't play games that we are not prepared to play all at once. That our mindset should be, if we want to play this game, we should be doing all the content we want to do now. And if we can't do it all now because we don't have time, then we should not be playing it, is what I'm saying. There are some exceptions there, but that's the direction I want to look at it, is that, like, if we're looking at a game and saying, well, we're going to have to do 2 seasons of this because there's too much content, it's like, then we just need to accept we're not equipped to play that game. Like,
It's fine to go like 2 or 3 seasons on a game.
And it's I think I'm tending towards I don't think it is. I don't like going back to games generally. It's I want the game to be, we play it, and then when we're done playing it, we're done playing it as much as possible. So
I really don't want to do that because that's kind of what Game Grumps did.
no, that's the problem. That's not what they did. What they did is they stopped playing the game. Just, they play for 7 episodes and stop playing. It doesn't matter because they're looking at analytics. I'm not saying we look at analytics. I'm not saying we just play 7 episodes. I'm saying we play as much of the game as we want to play. But if the amount we want to play means that it's going to be a 100-episode stream, we should not be playing it right now. We should accept that's a when the channel's full-time game. And if the channel's never full-time, we never play it.
Call the police.
Because
I've got
we
the
are
place
not
secured.
equipped to play it.
Nice job.
It's like
Anytime
we
can
just,
get
we
guns off
literally
the street,
don't
it's a win.
have the time to play it. That's more the direction I'm saying. I'm saying if it's
That's all the
becoming like
places I could lead
multi-season,
tomorrow, Lee. We just made
then
life a lot
and we
harder.
cannot make a change to
easier
how
for
we're
the
playing
DA
the
to
game
build a case
to
against
make
them.
it not be multi-seasonal.
Thanks, MJ.
That might be a
I'll pay
game
when
we
you
don't play. I'm not suggesting we do Game Grumps because I hate how Game Grumps does it. I'm suggesting a way to not do what they're doing. Which I don't know if I'm being very clear. So, and again, this is thoughts going through my head. This is not something I'm saying we're doing. I don't know. I'm thinking through different solutions to the problems that we're having. So it's like,
Yeah.
if we know and this is still true, if we know we do not want to ever be Game Grumps, we never want to be, we play the game for a little bit and then stop. I guess maybe the better way to say it is I view seasonal content as being more like Game Grumps. And that's why I don't like it. Because the way I'm viewing it is this is kind of our middle ground, but we are doing what they're doing. We're saying we're going to stop for a while and then come back to it later because you all are getting tired of this game.
But then we schedule it and
yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
we know
But that's
when
what
it's
Game Grumps
upcoming.
does, technically.
Yeah, but
Sometimes they don't come back to games at all, but
Exactly.
sometimes what they do is, we know the analytics are down in the series, so we're going to schedule it for later and continue it later. And that's what we're doing with Season 2s. We're saying, we're getting tired of the game and the audience is getting tired of the game, so we're going to schedule it for later.
But how I'm doing mobile series right now is probably what we should do for all Let's Plays and streams, where we have a column for Season 1s, column for Season 2,
Yeah,
and
but
then
frankly-
move Season 2s accordingly.
Yeah, but frankly, I don't like the mobile game columns. Not because I don't think that's... I think that's about the best way we can do mobile games. But mobile games, again, I classify mobile games completely separately from all other games because how we have to handle them is fundamentally different. Mobile games can't be done in any way other than seasonal. Because the only way we could do them not seasonally would be as if you played like 10 mobile games all at the same time and you only released a series once you've 100% done all the content.
Delivery of enough concrete to build 2 skyscrapers.
And that's just
Don't
unfeasible.
tell me. They're
Like, mobile games have seasonal content that shows up for years later. We can't just not release mobile games for 5 years until the game's delisted. So, like, mobile games have to be done seasonally because they can't be done any other way. But Let's Plays and streams can be done differently because the games have a beginning and end. The reason why we're having problems, like why we have seasons, is because we have games like, well, Jurassic World Evolution, where there's just too much shit in that game. Because this is one of the reasons I was concerned about that game, was because you'd said, well, I want to build a park on every map, and I'm kind of like, I'm not interested in building a park on every map as a concept, because that's just taking way fucking long.
That's why I did in Jurassic World 1.
Yeah. And it took way too fucking long.
But here's the thing.
So it's
in
like,
the sandbox, you have infinite money.
That's true. So and that's what I'm saying.
The
it's
sandbox, making a
it's-
map, I'm sorry, making a
Yeah.
a
Making
park
a
on
park doesn't
every
take time.
map does not take too long.
Yeah, exactly. So and that's why I'm kind of approaching it that way. It's like, I think that we need to script out a little bit some of the lengths of things. And that's gonna not be easy because there's a lot of games we just don't know. But like, I think there's, to some extent, for games we know are gonna take a long time like that, we just kind of have to put internal caps and just say, hey, we're doing a park in this map. We're capping it at 5 episodes, for example. We're gonna spend no more than 5 episodes on this map.
I can probably.
I know.
Get it done,
I'm
like,
just throwing a
one or
random number
two.
here. I don't know how long it'll take, but I'm just saying that, like,
Good job.
those are the kind of things I think we might have to look at for longer series that have content that could theoretically last forever. Is we just need to say, we're going to put a maximum cap on this, and we will never come back to it. Because once we're hit that cap, we are done. So, I don't think that that's going to be a thing for every series. But it's going to be a thing for some series. And I don't know when and where that'll happen. So, I'm just, yeah, as I said, I'm just processing. I'm processing some restrictions I think we're going to have to make if we want long games to be playable. Because, for example, I have some Disgaea games. You have some, and Tales games. You have a Tales game. Those games are like 150 hours. Like, and I
Well,
don't know.
To be fair, I don't know
Well, yeah,
how
that's the
long I
thing.
want to play it.
Exactly. It's like, I don't know how we're gonna do that, but like, for games of that length, I think we probably just have to say the story is all we can do. That if there's other things you want to do, sorry, that's never gonna happen because those games are just too long to allow other content. Again, I'm not certain. I've not played that many Tales games. In fact, I played 0 Tales games. I played 0 Disgaea games. But like, when you get into those long-form RPGs, for example, it's like we might have to. It's kind of a thing like. It's kind of like a thing with Pokemon, where we kind of internally cap Pokemon by saying we're gonna play the main story and then we're gonna do the legendaries and mythicals.
Well, the thing about Pokemon is we can't even really do the events unless we find an emulator that has all the events, but at that point it'd be probably modded.
Yeah, exactly. And for newer ones don't have exactly that same cap. Newer games
we can.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. For
Because
newer games like Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet, we've said we're going to do the story mode of the DLCs. So, but that is still kind of our direction we're headed. Of like, for Pokemon games, even the new ones, it's
the older games that we have issues with.
yeah. But for all of them, vaguely our cap is the story and the legendaries and mythicals. We're not 100% of the Pokedex ever. We're not getting all the items in the game ever.
But we do 100%
Well,
Dex.
we do, but off camera. It's not usually something we do on. But like, that's what I'm saying. We're not committing to getting the shiny charm in every single game on screen. Like, all of that line. Because we just put that internal cap on it and say, this is what we're doing in every game.
Unfortunately, like, we don't have a lot of control with other games. It is certain games that we just can't control. that amount of gating to it.
Exactly. And well, I think it's not that we can't control it. I think it's we don't have enough information to control it. Because there's a lot of games we just don't know how long they are at all. Like we have no information. So like,
From what I can see, it's more like illegal weapons.
yeah,
And this might come as a shock, but I don't think they're really.
And that's why we have How Long to Beat to
Exactly.
have.
and How Long to Beat is a great resource. It's a good guide. It's guidelines. And sometimes it's wrong. We have evidences of times where it is wrong.
It is that I'm not glad
And
to
we
see
also
more
know sometimes for some games that we are going to be wrong, in the sense of like for visual novels.
Visual novels, we
Visual
have no
novels, like-
fucking clue.
Yeah, visual novels. Well, visual novels are all depend. For most visual novels, I would say assuming that we spend twice as long as How Long to Beat's time is more accurate than assuming we're going to spend the time they say. But there are some that's wrong. Like Lily of the Valley, we did not spend twice as long as How Long to Beat said. I can actually figure out how long that was. Hold on.
I think it was like 15 hours or something like that.
Lily of the Valley so according to How Long to Beat, it would have been 3 episodes for us. It was 10 episodes. So we spent 3 times as long. But that's also,
more demons.
That's probably because people were clicking through and not reading it.
Hide.
well, exactly. It's not that they were clicking through and not reading it. It was they were reading it at their own pace internally and then going to the next page, and that was it. There's no further dialogue. As a Let's Play, we recognize we're going to spend twice as long as the game just talking about the game.
Yeah, I think that's what makes us good for visual novels,
Yeah.
but I don't want to become a visual novel channel.
No, and I'd agree. But that is the thing where we, like, visual novels are a great game where we recognize How Long to Beat times are not accurate for us. They're accurate for how long it would take if you just read the game, but for a stream, they are completely inaccurate. So that tells us we need to go and check, like, how can we better do those times? That means we have to have custom rules for all visual novels.
MJ, call the police.
Where we just look
We
at,
got the
we
place
need to have
secured.
like either
job.
some
Anytime
new
we see
formula
guns
for
off the
just
street,
them
it's a win.
for the times, or we just recognize, hey, we have
That's
no
all
clue.
the places
Because like for
I can lead
example,
to Martin Lee.
I'll throw
Just made
some
life
time
a
down
lot
here.
harder for the
Um,
kids.
And easier
Doki
for the
Doki
DA
Literature
to
Club.
build a case against him. Thanks, MJ. I owe you dinner.
Ooh, nice.
First game,
What price
Doki
were you
Doki Literature Club
about?
is a 6-hour game. That means it'd be 12 episodes. We had 47 episodes.
Yeah, because we have a lot of good shit.
Yep. So, and that's the thing. So that one was 4 times the length of How Long to Beat. Lily of the Valley's
Let me
3
go to
times.
this one.
Name some other visual novels.
Kawa Shoujo. Honestly, I think that one may have been accurate.
Yeah, Kadoa Shoujo was 100% accurate. 25 hours, 25 episodes.
Then again, we're going to be going back through the
Yep.
routes. I think I may have decided that we're going to skip content because it's the same game. Just we're
Well,
going
I
down
would
a
say
different
what I
route.
would say is that yeah, we can kind of speed through the sections where we make we can do the thing where we can enable the one feature where it's skip unread text. But like basically we can skip through all the sections where we don't make different choices. So, but yeah, so that'll speed that up. But like that's why I put the times for Kadoa Shoujo. I put 25 hours for every single one of them. Not because How Long to Beat said that's the time, but because we've now proven that's our time. So, I'm expecting that all the routes are going to take up about 25 episodes. Maybe some will be 20, but like, yeah, that's the expectation because we've kind of proven it. But then you look at some of the other DDLC mods. Brand New Day.
It's just I'm still deciding whether or not I want to do it as a separate series. That's what I'm still trying to decide.
Oh, should we do it as a separate playlist, you think?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, no.
'Cause
We should do it as one playlist, but a separate series. We should do it as...
I thought we wanted them to be a separate playlist or something. There was
Yeah.
some reason that we wanted them separate, and I don't remember that reason anymore.
Yeah, I think we go back on that. I think we generally... Here, let's say it this way. I think generally... Let's say we just don't do that as a general rule. As a general rule, if we're playing the same game, but with different routes, they go in the same playlist.
Are we still gonna... I think our thing was we were gonna label them differently. Like, it's gonna be DDLC Blue Skies Sayori route.
Well, I was gonna say, that's the question.
Spider-Man.
Because we didn't do that on the videos, did we?
No.
Like, the
we
videos
only
are
didn't
Katawa
do it
Shoujo.
yet because we hadn't gone down another girl's route, and I kind of planned to this Valentine's Day coming up.
But my point being that the idea was that, yeah, I think that we have to choose one place. Either the videos need to say Katawa Shoujo Rin route, or the playlist needs to say Katawa Shoujo Rin route. And realistically, I don't...
Oh, we got the swinging. Yay.
Realistically, I don't care which we do. I think it's fine either way.
Out of the air, into the air.
It's... Yeah, I don't think I really care either way. If we want to do it as... If we want to do them as individual playlists, I think that's fine. But I'm also fine putting the route in the title of the video. As long as that doesn't become too long.
Yeah, I think that was our main issue is, oh, is it going to be too long?
The other problem is that I don't know how it's going to work either way, because how are we going to handle it if we don't put them in the title? Because that means we're going to have 7 different Katawa Shoujo stream part 1s.
I wouldn't mind either way. Like, if it's in the same playlist, we'd probably still let the number go up.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If we're doing them, well, no, I'm saying if we're doing them in the same playlist, then at that point, the playlist is going to be called Katawa Shoujo, and then each episode will be labeled Katawa Shoujo Rin Route Episode 1.
Yeah.
And what's the next? What's another girl? Can't think of them off the top of my head.
Start with an S.
Shizune,
yeah.
So it'd be Katawa Shoujo Rin Route Episode 1. Katawa Shoujo Shizune Route Episode 1.
I think the reason... Okay, maybe we do have them different numbers, and I think the reason why I want them different numbers is because some people like certain characters, and they want to only see maybe those characters. But I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know your guys' kinks, like...
They all have disabilities. I feel like we shouldn't describe disabilities as a kink. The other problem is that I think you announced you were doing Shizune as the next character during the render.
Yeah,
so that's
that
not
was happening.
anybody.
That was happening.
That's going to be problematic. If we're naming the episodes live, the character, that's going to become problematic because, as a reminder, the Katawa Shoujo instance that we have for the channel is modded. It is modded because it adds a single character that does not have a route to have a route. And I'm not telling younger bro the options. Like, when he makes choices, for example, let's say that I'm trying to think of one of the other characters.
I mean, we don't have to tell what route we're doing next every single time. I only did because that was happening.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm saying, what I'm telling you is that I'm not going to tell you because the character that I added a route for has additional options that show up to trigger that route. I'm not going to tell you that you need to avoid them. In other words, like, for example, when we did the Rin route, we went through the game normally, and we got a route, and then we went back to get the route we wanted. When we do that for Misha, or not Misha, Shizune. I'm thinking Misha because she's always with Shizune.
I still can't believe she's not the route.
But when we do the Shizune route, if you get that other person, I'm not necessarily going to tell you how to avoid getting that other person's route. And that's going to be a situation where we might be naming it Shizune, and we might get that other girl, and we might decide later that we're just going to make that route that girl's route. Or we might decide we're going to revert and go down the Shizune route.
Also, when I figure out which girl it is, are we going to rename the Karo Shoujo playlist to be the modded name? If it has a modded name.
The playlist, if we're putting them as one playlist, no. If we're doing them as individual playlists, yes. Then I will do so. But if it's
going to be a single.
If it's one playlist, but we're putting the names in the title, then I will just put girl's name modded.
Well, we can probably just call it the modded name in the video and still put it in the same playlist.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying we're going to put on the video that girl's name and that she's modded, but it'll still go in the Katawa Shoujo playlist. Or we could individually make a Katawa Shoujo modded playlist for that specific character if we really want to put her in a different playlist. That I don't care either way.
We'll see.
But we'll figure that out when we get to it. We'll figure that out. No, I can't. That's
Whoa,
so
what the
terrible.
fuck? How'd that happen?
How'd what happen?
I yanked a weapon out of the guy's hand. I didn't throw it at them, but it acted like Spider-Man used the Force to use that baton to throw into that guy's torso.
Yeah. So just making sure you're wanting to go 2 hours tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have to go to work till 3 o'clock.
That's fair.
Besides, I'm going to be up till probably nearly 1 o'clock at night every night.
Captain,
So
I've got
it
Fisk's
does
guys and
not
all the
matter.
probable cause you need, webbed up and waiting.
Good job. Fisk thinks he can run things from inside.
And I'm going to try to
but he's gonna
simulate it
find out
tonight,
why
so I'm probably not
long-distance
going to go to bed
relationships
until
don't
about
work out.
12. Realistically, I'm not going to be home till about 12:30 every night, depending on the job. But yeah.
But yeah, anyways, going back to talking about times though. For Doki Doki Abridged, the time I put was the game's time. Because I assumed that because it was abridged to be shorter. So I actually just used the game's actual time. And that was correct.
And you're done.
But then you look at Brand New Day, 43 episodes. And now, arguably, Brand New Day's not done. And also, arguably, we might almost have to replay that game because how they're redoing the game. I'm not sure how we're going to handle that fully. We talked about just recording the new content, but that's...
We have no idea how we're going to do it.
Yeah, I don't know
Be
how we're going to do
honest.
that. And who knows when that game's actually going to get done. If it gets done.
I figured out how to make Spider-Man fly.
But yeah, so I think that all this to say, I think that what we've learned, that what we're learning going through the list is, in the past we learned we had to use times to determine where the games needed to go. With Tenkaichi 3, we learned that we have to be more cognizant. We have to pay more attention to the times and make sure that those times are actually accurate. And with this, with going through everything and labeling all the times, what we're kind of learning is we need to have expectations of when we say, oh, a certain game type is a certain length, that's not gonna always be accurate. Because, like, for example, like I said, I completely disregard Pokemon's times. Main plus extra times for Pokemon is insane. It doesn't make any sense. And so the times I put are just 10 hours longer than the main story time. And that's just the rule. We just came up with a rule that's how we have to do times for those games, and that's more accurate.
Like, for Diamond and Pearl, all we had to do is look at the time for Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. And we could adjust to that game accordingly. But for things like Black and White and stuff, it's like, I don't remember this series being short. Because none of the games are short. Like, there were times where I had to go grind. Now, it was rare, but there are some games you do have to grind for. Black and White 1, I had to
for
grind.
example, let's actually look. Let's look at Diamond and Pearl.
It was only 13 episodes, but I'm still doing Ramnus Park whenever I get to it. The reason I haven't done it yet, guys, is because it's in a mobile slot. Now, I could schedule it, but I have an import list even on mobile. Now, that said, we are getting through it. We're getting through it fairly quickly. I'm expecting we'll be done by mid next year with the mobile slot.
How did you determine the time for Diamond and Pearl?
For Diamond and Pearl, I just looked at Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl on our channel. And seeing how long it took us to do that game. I'm like, well, if it took us this long to do this game, it's probably safe to say we'll probably take just as long with the other game. Now I don't know about Platinum. Oh, I didn't mean to do that.
Well, right, but what I'm saying is that your time doesn't make sense based on that. Like, you put 16. That's the time on that episode, right now.
I put 16.
Like, you put it on Let's Plays, and you put 16.
16?
Yes.
16 what?
Hours. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, on the sheets it said like 16 hours. What the fuck does the number mean in the first column?
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out right now. That one's 36. So that's what I'm trying to figure out where you got 16. Yeah, like, you put 16 for Diamond and Pearl original, but Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, the first column has 36. So I'm trying to figure out where you got 16 from.
Like I said, on my end it said 16.
Yeah, that's why I'm going crazy here, man. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Regardless, like, I looked at the playlist for Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, and I put Diamond and Pearl in a Let's Play, assuming that we're probably going to take just as long on it.
Right, but we took 19 streams. That's 19 hours.
I thought we took 13 streams.
No,
How long did we take?
19.
Still 19 hours is fine.
But 19 hours is 38 episodes. And that's assuming...
That's fine.
Well, but again, hold on. So that's logical. However, then we go to How Long to Beat. How Long to Beat says the main story time for Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, 26 hours. So that's where I got my 36-hour time from. Which means we should have had about 33 streams. We actually had 19 streams. So that time is slow. Brilliant Diamond, but original Diamond and Pearl, 41 hours with the main time.
Don't know how.
So it's like-
pretty much a straight port.
Yeah, so it's like that's why I'm like, what? So like I'm not necessarily disagreeing with you there that it might end up being we put it in Let's Play and it just is a long Let's Play.
Reinforcements. Unless you're just Natalie.
Like, I moved over
But,
any
like-
game that I assumed would be 20 hours.
Yeah, I'm not even saying that's a bad idea.
So I
Like-
even did it for Pokemon.
Yeah, I
And
generally think that and I generally think that's a good idea of like
Sounds like a
Will,
perfect
we're gonna-
distribution network
that's
for
our-
drug running.
that's our cap.
Shit looks like is their real
Uh,
priority.
So let me update the sheet.
How are we doing on this benchmark? Okay, we're
We're close.
getting there.
But anyways, so yeah, I updated the rules to now actually have. So 20 is now the cutoff. So there's no longer the 15 to 20 overlap. It's 15 to 20 is Let's Play. 20 is stream. So to match your time. Because I think that's fine. Change to match. Where we're just saying, anything under 20 hours is a Let's Play. That does mean we're going to end up having some longer Let's Plays that are going to end up being more episodes than we want. But
The reason why we did that was our streams list was getting kind of lengthy.
yeah, but also, and this is something I'll talk about on screen. We're now going to actually start enforcing the rule that we've had for a while, but never actually enforced, which is that Let's Plays over a certain amount of time are going to be 40 minutes. Well, we say 40 minutes, but we mean 40 minutes in the same way we mean 30 minutes for our normal Let's Plays. It's 36 minutes. So, because we tend to cut off around 26 minutes for 26, 27 minutes for our Let's Plays. It'll be about 36 minutes for our Let's Plays that are longer. You passed a milestone. Is it like 20,000 words, Mr. B? Like, what's your milestone? 25,000. Oh, there you go. Oh, you're halfway there. Oh, living on a prayer. And, Mr. B, it's not even halfway through the month. Like, you're 2 days early from needing to be halfway there. So, you good.
Yeah, some of these benchmarks, guys, I can't really do more than one of. But that said, this benchmark's kind of easy.
When I write my midterm, I call it the we're halfway there assessment. I mean, that is what it is. It's literally mid-term. Like, middle of term. So, yeah, I mean, that is just literally what that is. But anyways, so the thing I was saying was, see, yeah, any games 15 to 20 hours are now going to be 40 minutes long. So, and we're gonna very rigorously enforce that. So, hopefully this means that a lot of the games that would have been over 30 episodes are gonna start being pushed back a little bit.
How do you guys tell each other apart? I mean,
By the way, guys, if we do end up having really, really stupid long Let's Plays, again, we're basing our time off of how long to beat, and how long to beat has been wrong occasionally.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's the thing, is there's nothing we can
if
really
we
do.
realize it's going to take too long, we will change it to be a straight.
Yeah. Well, within some exceptions.
Like, what I was going to do is I'll do it as a Let's Play up to 50 episodes, and then once we hit 50, we would bring it back as a stream, depending.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. Because, like, yeah, because we've never done seasons of Let's Plays. Ever. And the only thing we've done with Let's Plays was the fact that we changed it to we've changed to a stream, haven't we?
Well, I was trying to do a Season 2 for a certain Let's Play, but the computer got fucked up and I couldn't.
But yeah, it's like,
Because the fucking computer, I have to wait longer to do it.
yeah. But, Point is that we have upgraded things to streams, but we kind of, yeah, that was more of like, we did that because we didn't have time, and we've never actually done that since.
Didn't get it yet. Almost there.
So I think that it is almost impossible that we will have that happen ever again. Not that it can't. It definitely can. But
Yeah, some of the games I moved into a Let's Play, I figured that's probably what's going to happen.
well, here's the thing. I don't think that's likely because
Again, depends on the game, but the games I moved, yeah.
MJ, I've got the place locked down.
Great. I'll call
At
in
least 2 of
anonymous
them I
tip.
know.
I bet if the police check out those
Gonna
drop
take a
boxes,
while.
they'll find something more interesting than secondhand jeans.
yeah. I'm just saying that like we've. Okay, let me. You know what?
That's all the places I could link to Martin Lee. We just made life a lot
I'm just standing up to talk about this. So,
harder for the
and I'm gonna get my
demons.
phone
And
because that way
easier
I
for
can
the
actually
DA
look
to
at the
build
thing.
a case against him.
Actually, where's
Thanks,
my phone
MJ.
at right now?
I owe you dinner.
My phone's at 4%. I'm not doing that. So the thing is, the reason I don't think that'll ever happen, any of the if we look at any of the games that we that have been that long, like list any of the games that have been that long that you can think of that we've ever done.
Danganronpa.
That's a 47-hour game, according to How Long to Beat. We spent 71 episodes on it. So that's not a Let's Play by our metric. It just is wrong. Like that's so many of the pretty much every single game that we went over time on by that much was not supposed to be a Let's Play. We just didn't.
Well, that was before we had our... That's before we had How Long to Beat.
Yeah.
Because of Danganronpa is why we got How Long to Beat. So that was the first time we were making rules with longer series. But before that, we had Twilight Princess, but we didn't think nothing of it at the time.
Yeah, the Twilight Princess is a 39-hour game. It still wouldn't have been. That's what I'm saying, is that while I think it is possible...
God damn it, I'm doing the wrong thing.
It is possible for us to have that happen. That would require... Instead of us just not knowing,
Yes.
it has to be... How Long to Beat has to be critically wrong about a series. Like, by a huge margin.
Yeah, and I'm betting the 2 games I just moved over, they're going to be wrong.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. It's possible, but I think that we are now more informed to the point where it's unreasonable for that to happen. Not impossible.
You must be the
But I think that moving 20-hour games over is not a problem. Because, again, a 20-hour game just means 20-hour games mean 30 episodes at 40 minutes. It would mean a 40-episode game if we did 30 minutes.
Okay, yeah.
So it's like I
But-
don't think it's possible for us to have another 70-episode Let's Play unless we've done something wrong. Like if we 100%ed, like what? How long was Captain?
That was like,
34 episodes?
yeah.
Yeah, if we like 100%ed Captain Toad Treasure Tracker and did every single possible thing in the game and then played it again,
From what I can see, it's more like illegal weapons.
it still
Spec
wouldn't
shop,
be
like,
70
I don't think
episodes.
they're really bespoke.
Like, but that's the level of, we would have to fuck it up that badly, where we'd have to think we needed to, like we'd have to get a time that's half. So it's like, I don't want to say that the system is foolproof, because it's not. But, because there is, because let me be clear, there is one game I'm not mentioning that, well, I mentioned it already, that would have qualified as a Let's Play and shouldn't have been a Let's Play. And that's Doki Doki Literature Club. But that's where our experience comes in, where we now know, hey, this is a visual novel. It should not be a Let's Play, because we're expecting double the time.
Oh, I didn't move over DDLC.
Yeah. So
The reason I didn't is because of how long.
exactly, that's the thing. What I would say, well, and also the thing I do is I just set.
But the other issue is we don't know how long the mods are. They could have made DDLC shorter for all we know.
I would expect we should never expect that. What I would expect is we should always expect how a DDLC playthrough to take over 20 hours.
Mr. B, we've already played DDLC several times. More than once.
I mean,
And
we played
different
with that
mods.
game like 4 times. Like, hold on, I can figure that out.
I think it's exactly 4 times.
We played original DDLC, 3 mods of DDLC, and Katawa Shoujo, which is basically original DDLC. Which is just literally a normal dating sim. So, like, but it is kind of fucked up. So, like, yeah, this channel could be just DDLC content, and
But-
we'd enjoy that.
We would enjoy it, but
MJ,
I don't
call
want
the
to do
police.
that.
But we don't want to
Get the
do
place
that.
secured.
Nice job. Anytime we can get guns off the street, it's a win.
No, secretly, Mr. B already knew that, and the people's brains that are being fucked with, but with DDLC that he's talking about, are ours.
That's all the places I could link to Martin Lee. We just made life a lot harder for the demons.
And easier for the DA. to really
Regardless,
catch them. Thanks, MJ. I owe you dinner.
I didn't look at the visual novels too heavily. Like I said, I only looked at the times on how long to beat and
Yeah,
adjusted
and that's
accordingly.
what we should do. But I think that for 4 games that we know are visual novels, what I would say is a good expectation is we should take whatever time How Long to Beat says and double it, and that's more accurate. It's not going to be right, but it should be more accurate than what we have. Hell, even National Park Girls, I think, is going to be that level of wrong.
Like, how long was it originally? I know we ended at 24 episodes-ish.
We had 25 episodes. It's a
Okay.
7.5-hour game, which means 15 episodes. So when we play the final chapter, that's going to be over 30 episodes. So it'll be over double time. So every visual novel is always at least double the time, except for Katawa Shoujo.
Katawa Shoujo was the only one that was accurate.
Yeah, and it was 100% accurate. Now, the other thing is the main plus extras time on Katawa Shoujo might have been for doing every route. So, Katawa Shoujo might actually be uniquely correct. And
For
the other
Katawa
thing is...
Shoujo, it was hard for us to be funny.
That's also true. We had a lot. It's kind of. I mean, we've had commentary, but there's a lot of. It's a lot harder to have commentary about that game that's that serious. So, and I think that we'll probably do better when we replay it. We'll see.
I doubt it,
Who knows?
honestly.
But again, the point is, now that we've played Katawa Shoujo, we know that if we play more Katawa Shoujo versions, that time should be our expectation. 25, go with it. Same with DDLC. That's why for every DDLC mod, I just set it to 20. Because that should be our baseline expectation. The base game was 6. The time I put's 20.
And that still qualifies for Let's Play.
Well, it's right on the line of the maximum we could put as a Let's Play. But again, we know that number is the minimum it could possibly be. So I think we should always take any DDLC mods, except for Abridged, which is specifically abridged.
Yeah, and that one was short.
Yeah. So anything, unless we specifically know it's something like a bridge, where it is shorter than DDLC, and it's going to be very brief, we should always take DDLC as it should be a stream. Just never not stream. But yeah, again, this is where we just have to know. So sometimes we have to fuck up to know how it's fucked up.
Hard landing.
This is why do you think I'm doing all this work right now? Because we fucked up in the past, and with Budokai Tenkaichi 3, we fucked up by following How Long to Beat to the letter of the law, and now we're saying, okay, we're going to follow them even more to the letter of the law for the start. When we're planning things out, we're going to start by assuming they're 100% right. But then, before we play the game, we're going to double-check them.
Yeah, it's hard for us to double-check certain games because, again, we would have to end up spoiling ourselves by watching a playthrough.
Well, not exactly.
Or maybe looking at somebody else's playthrough to see how many episodes it took them. Like for Sonic Unleashed, for example. I looked at... I think Rod plays Sonic Unleashed.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he played the PS2 version.
Mm-hmm.
And it took him roughly 20 episodes.
Yeah.
And then I looked up somebody else's and made sure it was the PS2 game. And that one was also 20 episodes. I'm like, okay.
But 20 episodes of how long?
Huh? 20 episodes of 40 minutes.
Yeah. So...
Well, 30 minutes, actually. A couple of them were 40.
Yeah, so that's claiming that's a 10-hour game, which we did 36 episodes at 30 minutes. So...
But that's the PS3 version. The PS2 version, vastly different.
Yeah.
Because it's more of a linear game than the PS3 version ever was.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you basically always have a level select.
Yeah.
Like, you have a map select and you have a level select.
Yeah, there's a lot less running around and trying to get to levels because there's a level select. And that'll cut a lot of time.
Captain, the inmates and all their guns are webbed up and waiting.
Thanks.
So,
No way we could have taken them without collateral
I'm
damage.
happier with this stream
I hope
right
the
now.
locals
We've gotten through
appreciate
2
you.
benchmarks. And I'm working on my 3rd.
I mean, I'm enjoying it because we're discussing like how games work and stuff like that. We're having some fun.
We're having channel discussion.
Yeah,
like
it's a
we
channel
always
discussion,
do.
but it's like this is the kind of channel discussions I like having, where it's like maybe not a lot of people are interested in this, but like, yeah, I like having these conversations because it's like it looks at like how do we rate games, how do we like, and by rate I mean like how do we schedule.
Attention all units. Witness just reported a kidnapping.
Just
Incident
like-
is active near Longacre. Over.
Because I want to be clear, I think How Long to Beat is an excellent resource, and I think that it is generally correct. There are just going to be games where they don't have enough details, and the other problem is that there's a couple things with How Long to Beat that are things you just have to deal with.
Yeah, some games aren't even timed, even though they have them.
So mobile games are not timed at all. So this is only for true games. Things that have a set beginning in it. Well, sorry, that's not true.
They have some mobile games on there.
Yeah.
It just depends.
Yeah, I think they have mobile games that have PC ports.
Well,
I don't-
technically, they all have PC ports now, except iOS
no.
games.
Well, no, the ones that just play on that version of like what is it, Android or whatever, the thing that you can
Google Play.
yeah, Google Play. That's not a PC port. Like a PC port, as in it's playable on Steam.
You mean like Genshin Impact?
Sort of, yeah. It has to have a PC version of the game that is a separate release. How Long to Beat has those games, but I don't think they have any iOS-only games. Or if they do, they are extremely rare.
By the way, guys, as far as I'm aware, you can't play iOS games on PC without an emulator yet. It's only for Android.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I don't like that.
Well, you probably could if you had a Mac.
Oh, I'm planning on getting an iOS phone.
Well, yeah,
Because the only reason I'm going to do that is because I know I'm going to need the storage.
And this might come
Yeah,
as a
but
shock,
anyways,
I don't think they're really
but yeah, so mobile games are basically not on there, so don't look for them.
Yeah, most of the mobile games I'm playing, I know and or have seen the trailer for and know what kind of game it's going to be because I've played that many mobile games.
Yeah.
So it's really easy for me to judge a mobile game by looking at it.
Yeah. So so the big things is they're not. So don't look at them if you're looking for a mobile game. And then if you see a time on How Long to Beat, there are a few things you have to keep in mind. One is the color of the time. If the time, How Long to Beat has an interesting scale where like they set times based on how many people have played the game and recorded the time. Because they inherently know that a lot of their games are inaccurate. Because, like, obviously, if you just have 5 people telling you that the game's this long, that's not very accurate. Then you look at something like, Mario, where hundreds of people time the game, and you can say that those times are almost certainly accurate. You might have some variance, but you'll be damn sure that time is going to be close. But there's a lot of games on there that the times are in red or in gray. Gray means there's literally no times, or the times are completely estimated.
And guys, I usually see no times for, believe it or not, DS games, but
yeah,
I also understand why.
Yeah. This is one of the things that we are probably going to do, is that we're probably going to get like an actual Two Bros game night, How Long to Beat, that we might actually put all of our times for all the games into, to be like, just to give some of these games more accurate data.
And again, I do have a How Long to Beat for us, and we only got one game on there, but
yeah. But we got to figure that out.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, so there's that. But the other thing is that, second problem with How Long to Beat, their site. So How Long to Beat is not good about acknowledging. One thing I wish How Long to Beat had on its site is standard deviation. Because the reason why Budokai Tenkaichi 3 was a stream was because the time on How Long to Beat said that it should have been a stream. But if you actually went into the individual, like if you went past just the front-facing time and went into the back end. In fact, let me pull this up. I'll just pull up.
Yeah,
Budokai
I was
Tenkaichi 3
having
specifically.
issues trying to find the back end, but I'm pretty sure you just click on the game and it shows you a chart.
Yeah, so on here. Budokai Tenkaichi 3.
You're just not very observant.
The main plus sides time, which is the time we use to judge how long a game is going to take if we're playing just the main story, or if we're doing just a little bit of side content. If we're doing 100%, we try to use the 100% time. But for most games, we're using the main plus sides time. The time for that game is 21 and a half hours. That's a string. Even with our new, our new scheduling, that's a string. And it should be about 20 strings. Well, 22 strings. So, 22-hour game. But if you look deeper, up at the top there's tabs. Well,
Yeah.
first let me look.
One
at
of
the front
them
page.
is like slowest or
Yeah.
whatever.
So if I look at the front page, if I go down all the way to the bottom, it's not quite the bottom, but it's pretty close to the bottom. You'll see a thing that says main plus extras. And then it says polled. The polled is 49. So that means 49 times are being used to determine how accurate this is. The average is 22 hours and 40 minutes. So that actually means they're actually cutting off some of the times. Like, they're not actually using the average for the main screen. The median is 20 hours.
Guys, you just got out of the raft. Sure are eager to go
So that
back.
means, so basically, averaging is looking at the, like, for anyone who's not a math person, which in this case is younger bro, I guess, because Mr. B is definitely a math person. The average is just taking all the times and then dividing by the total times. It's just giving you the average value. The median is looking for the exact middle of the data set. So it takes the top time and the longest time and the shortest time and finds the middle value, basically.
Reinforcements.
It's not
Look,
quite
guys,
that,
This is not gonna help at your parole hearing.
but like, it just takes the whole data set and it finds the value that's in the middle of the data set. And if there's two numbers, it finds the average of those two.
I can confirm that. They're not hitting anyone though.
Try to keep it that way.
Since I'm the only one they're aiming at, I am
So,
totally on board with that.
22 hours, median 20, that sounds like the game's about 20 hours. That sounds about right. But then you look a little bit closer. Rushed time, 14 hours, 26 minutes. Sounds good.
This is
Leisure
sad that
time.
criminals have
So
more
this is
loyal
somebody
friends
who's
than
going
me.
through very casually, very slow. 75 hours. So to me, that says, if I looked at that time, I'd be like, oh, these times may not be accurate because the leisure time is so different from the average that the data is probably skewed. So now if you go to the top of the page,
Just once, I'd love for the people rushing into the fight
you
to
see
be on my
overview,
side.
and then there's a
Heck,
column for
I'd even
review,
settle for neutral.
and at the very end,
I'm not going back inside. Not getting away with
it says completions. If you click on that, you get every single individual time. So if I now go to main plus side, the first time with notes on it is 8 hours and 15 minutes. And it says, just finished the story and the What If saga. 8 hours.
just need a clear shot.
I think all these times for 20 minutes, 40 minutes, 70 hours. Sorry, not minutes. 40 hours, 70 hours. What people are doing is they're playing the main story, and they're also playing What If, but I count What If as part of the main story. So they're completing that, and then they're going into the tournaments. They are probably still timing,
The inmates and all their
as
guns
they're
are wiped
playing.
up and waiting.
like as in
No way
they
we
let
could
the
have taken
timer
them
go
without
through the
collateral
night,
damage. I hope
and they
the
play the
locals
next
appreciate
day's
you.
tournament. They'll let the timer
Maybe.
go through the night, play the next day's tournament. So they're doing that. Not only are they doing that, but they also may be trying to get every character. In order to do that, you have to either summon Shenron or... well, I think one of them Shenron, and the rest are tournament. And you can only do certain tournaments on certain days.
So yeah, so second time on there is 25 hours.
Also,
If you then... Oh, go ahead.
it depends on the difficulty as well. Like, say if I did 1-star tournament for the World Martial Arts map, it doesn't necessarily mean I'll get that character, because you can only get characters on level 2 or higher. So if you're getting a bunch of level 1 difficulty, you cannot change the difficulty.
Yeah.
It's what you get. And I don't like that.
Yeah. So yeah, if I go into the detailed times though, the shortest time with no notes is 7 hours and 33 minutes. And then the times go up from there, and they go up. They pretty much go up till 30 hours. And then there are 2 other times. One is 50 hours, and one is 130 hours. So those last 2 times, I would say, are just completely skewing the data, and should just be cut. Like, those are just not accurate in any way.
I'd say if I was trying for the tournament and getting the characters, and if I got lucky that they were level 2, at most it should take you about 50 hours. Because there's only 4 tournament maps.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Well, look, if I go to the 100% times, it's even weirder. 100% times, the shortest is 9 hours. The longest is 43 hours. And the 43-hour one says 100% retro achievements.
I don't know what the fuck that means.
Those are achievements that are added by, that are basically added by emulation. So when you emulate the game, sometimes you can have options to add achievements to old games that didn't have achievements.
Ah.
So they're basically community-generated achievements for old games. So this person's time is basically modded. Like, it's not actually modded, but it's like, it's a completely different kind of gameplay to anything on this 100% system. This would be like stuff younger bro would do. It would be like if he put his 100% time in that said, get every clothing piece in
This
Pokemon.
might come as a shock, but I don't think they're really bespoke.
Like, get all items and all Pokemon and all shinies and all clothing. No one would consider that to be accurate to what most people think 100% is in a Pokemon game. Even if it is technically 100%, you've done content in the game. But, like, that's not what most people are going to assume 100% means. This is the kind of shit that's happening, where it's like, these times are so desperate, they're too spread out. So these should be considered inaccurate. But they're not. They're listed as highly accurate.
More demons.
And it's like,
Suppose we could settle this with some fruit pies.
The only way you would get up to 100 hours in Budokai Tenkaichi 3 that you're trying to time your playthrough, the only way that would happen is if you were severely unlucky. Like, say if they were going after every character. If you were severely unlucky with getting the difficulties that you needed to unlock those characters, and also, you know, playing on the certain map to get those characters. So you would have to be very, very unlucky. That's the only way.
yeah. One of them put on their 7 Dragon Balls. That was the 25-hour time. So they did all 7 Dragon Balls. Still, that wasn't 130 fucking hours.
If you actually look for the Dragon Balls, they're easy to
Yeah,
find.
they're really
They're harder than BT.
Yeah. But not bad.
But not at. It wasn't much more difficult.
Yeah. So second problem with how long to beat is that the times, because you can put times with no notes, and because the 3 categories don't have any requirements for them, the times can be skewed
MJ, call the
if they
police.
don't
Got
have
the place secured.
a lot of
Nice
time.
job. Anytime we can get
So
guns on
any
the street,
games
it's
with
a win.
like,
But in BT3's case, everybody fucking plays it because it's one of the best Dragon Ball games.
yeah,
out there.
BT3 is actually heavily played, but that kind of has the opposite problem. Small games can end up being skewed because they don't have any times at all. Large games can be skewed because the end
Thanks, MJ.
times are
I owe you
so not close to the average that they are.
Oh yeah,
they're
I
problematic.
keep forgetting the one thing you can do in BT3.
Mhm.
There is a mission mode, and I
Yes,
never
Mission
do it.
100 was listed on one of these.
Yeah,
so.
mission 100. So I never do it because I don't care for it.
Yeah.
Like I'm only there to
Exactly.
play
so,
the story and maybe do the
Yeah.
tournaments.
So that is one of the things that I think that there should be some. Mr. B, you are a math guy.
Hey Finn,
Hey Finn, what's the challenge of the night? Well, we already did 2 of the challenges.
we already did 2. This one we're yanking down enemies from the air, and this is the only way I can do it effectively.
Yeah.
So we've actually got through 2 benchmarks, and we are hopefully nearing the end of all the fighting benchmarks, but I think we're going to have 1 left over.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to have 1.
But anyways, yeah, Mr. B, you are a math professor. Is there an average, or maybe not an average, but is there a specific type of like formula for this what I'm talking about, where like you take a data set and if a value is above like a certain percentage over the median or the average, that it's cold? Like, is there like a function that like handles that?
Here's the other thing we also should probably consider. Is there any site better than How Long to Beat?
No, I don't know if there's any other site in How Long to Beat that does this.
That's what I'm saying. Did we really look that thoroughly for like sites
Like,
that have
I looked
times?
around. But I couldn't really find much of anything else. How Long to Beat is kind of the standard, and I've not really found. The problem is, How Long to Beat isn't. There's nothing really wrong with How Long to Beat. Well, it's sort of both. It's that, but it's like I'm sort of looking for something that trims outliers, but also something that what I'm looking for is something that determines how likely a data set is to have
Wait, don't tell me. They're hiding drugs in the concrete bricks.
outliers. In the sense that it's like, if you take a data set that has like
You'll have it.
numbers that are like 5, 6, 7, 6, 5, 23, versus a data set that has 9, 8, 7, 8, 9, 13, 5. Is there a function that could take those 2 data sets and say, this one is more deviant than the other? I'm saying, like, is there something in the style of standard deviation that analyzes how likely a data set is to be inaccurate? Because I'm sure that there's a function that could trim out outliers.
It would not let me unweb the shield.
But I'm more looking
Why?
for...
It's not letting me yank the shield.
That's interesting.
Ooh.
But I'm more looking for a way to analyze a data set and be like, hey, this data
Okay.
set isn't likely to be accurate. Oh, the other problem, by the way, guys, that I did find out, it is basically impossible to scrape How Long to Beat. Not that you can't. There are ways to do it, but it's not
Captain,
What do you mean by
feasible.
I've got
scrape?
physics guys and all
Okay,
the
so
probable cause
scraping a
unit rigged up
website
and waiting.
is the term
job.
that you use when
Fisk
you
thinks he can
have
run
a
things from
function,
inside,
like some
but
kind of
he's gonna
program
find out why
that
long
automatically goes
distance
onto a site and logs
relationships
data.
don't work out.
So, like, for example, you could make a program that could theoretically go on to How Long to Beat and find the main plus extras time and pull it out and put it in our Google Sheets. The problem is that's easier said than done, because I think that one would be possible, but the one I want is to go in and look at all the times on those pages and pull out the highest and lowest time and give a and give the range. Because if there's a game that has that high of range, then I would just say, oh, we need to check that one out. Or maybe we find all games have that high of range, and then we're just like, oh.
How did I dodged into the bullets and didn't take any damage. What the fuck? I took his gun from him while he was in the air.
Ow. You webbed him by the hand.
No, I didn't web him at all. He's in the collision.
You got his hand stuck in the window. You broke his hand through the window.
But anyway,
but yeah, that was the third way I was saying that it's how long to beat is kind of difficult. Is that it's difficult to pull information from it automatically. Because, for example, how long to beat. So if you ever load up how long to beat and you look up a game, every game has a unique game ID created by how long to beat. Like, I think it's by the users that, like, just add games to it. But those games have a unique game ID, and there's no way to search them. Like, there is no way for you to know what the game ID for Super Mario Bros. Wonder is without going on to how long to beat and determining what that unique game ID is by going to Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Because I don't even think they have a table anywhere on their site that lists game name, game ID. Like, there probably is somewhere in the back end, but it's nothing forward facing. So it's like you just can't, like, because what I would do if we had that, we could just scrape their site automatically and just say, take this game name, hold the data
Sounds like a
automatically.
perfect distribution network for drug running, which it looks like is their real priority. How do you backup guys get here so fast? I know it's not the 6th train.
okay, I am kind of doing more than one benchmark at a time. I have been webbing away shields and occasionally certain weapons. I'm trying to go after the guy with the gun. It's not letting me.
How do you guys kill each other apart? I mean, there's only so many mask variations.
Well, it's looking for the standard deviation, but it's more studying the data, like, because you can take the standard deviation of a data set, but it's more looking at what is, I don't know. I'd have to think through that. Because, like, the way I'm thinking of it like a bell curve. So you have your middle value. I think the middle value of a standard deviation, or the bell curve, is that I think that's your median. It's not the average. I don't remember. But you take that value, and then you could have a value that's 6 standard deviations away. So I'm more looking at, like,
Got the place locked down.
Great.
taking a value, say we say 3 standard deviations, and we say any values outside that range should be excluded, and then reanalyzing the data without that erroneous exterior data,
And easier for the DA to build a case against him.
which I think is like the
I owe you dinner.
what is it? It's that's the 95, no, the 99.5 standard deviation. I have to look this up.
1072. Reports of armed suspects mugging.
I wonder how we're doing with point launching. I'm probably still in 2000s. Oh, wow, we're actually almost done with point launching.
Basically, I'm looking for a function that normalizes the data.
我担心老大压力太大，但是还是照常指挥。
No! It's trying to jump off the table and do an air kick, and I'm not wanting that.
Yeah, it's the 99 percentile. It's like, so basically cut out anything that's in the 90, maybe even up to 95, like anything below the 95 percentile. Like just cut out all the extraneous endpoints. But yeah, it's more that I'm just looking. It's less that I want to find a function to trim the values out automatically, and more just a function that determines how many outline, like how many slash like how many outline values there are. Basically, I just want to be able to automatically look at a number and say, okay, I need to do further research on this, or this can be relied upon. So it's less about automatically doing the work for me, and more just a way to analyze the data to know that it's unlikely to be reliable. So yeah, it's like it's sort of within the standard deviation, but it's like it's more I'm looking for a counting function to determine how many things are outside
It's more like illegal
to
weapons.
deviation.
And this might come as a shock, but I don't think they're really bespoke.
Yeah, I want everything that's outside 2 p, like the second p value. But in order to do that on how long to beat, you'd have to scrape every value on how long to beat, and that's difficult. So honestly, I just want how long to beat to include that data up front.
Oh no, wait. It is that I'm
Just
not
say
glad
this
to see more
value has a this value is p valued at this, so that you can look at it and say, oh yes, this is there's a 25% chance my time will not fit this in this set correctly. That's my big complaint here, is that how long to beat is not. I don't think how long to beat is doing enough to show how much their data is unreliable.
Didn't mean to do that.
Because this is one of the reasons why certain games that I have are streams, even though they probably don't need to be. For example, Wizard Legends. Wizard Legends is a great example of this. That game, I think we beat fast enough that it shouldn't have been a stream.
We did,
But
but
there's also no possible way for us to know that.
yeah, because that's a randomizer game.
Yeah, exactly. It's a roguelite. So it's one of those things where
MJ, call the
we
police.
have no way
I've
to
got the
know.
place secured.
Games like that, the p-value is basically zero. Like there is no way to have a standard set, because those games are completely and utterly random. It's random to like how long you take to beat the game is dependent on not only your skill but also the items you get.
Thanks, MJ.
So the values are going to be so desperate that it's not worth analyzing.
Any place
That's
you
why I
want.
just put them in
That has a
streams.
dollar menu.
And most of the times that how long to beat give justify that, because the times end up being like 50, 70, 130 hours. And I don't think we're going to take 50 hours to beat some of those games. Like, I think Hades is on my list. I don't think I'm going to take 50 hours plus to beat Hades. Because, again, my way of beating Hades is just get to the, like, beat the end of the, like, get to the end of the game once. My time is not going to be that long. But I also know it could be 5 episodes or 75 episodes. So we plan accordingly. You should really play Hades more. Yeah, well, I'll get to it. My point being, like, for example, when we did Wizard of Legends, the whole goal was just to get to the end. The one time. And that was it. Like, that was when we determined the game would be done for us. So, like, if there's a more logical place to end the game, we can end it there, but... That's the problem if we play a game like The Binding of Isaac. It's like, where the hell do you end The Binding of Isaac?
With a game like Minecraft, we determine the end, but...
Yeah, but Minecraft also just... Minecraft's also one of those games I think we will end up just capping. Where we just say, we're just setting it to 30 episodes. Especially if we don't have a set.
But we did beat it, though.
Well, yes, but I'm saying for ones that don't have a definitive end. Those we can just cap. So if we play like a modded Minecraft, we do like a skyblock, and there's no real end to it. It's kind of just, we just cap it. It's like, we do this many episodes at most, and no more. And that's kind of the problem with games like Hades. It's like, we have to put a cap on it somewhere. We can't just play for 150 hours. So we have to have an end somewhere. And one run where we actually beat the final boss is, generally speaking, a decent way to say, okay, I mean, we've done it. There's more to the game, but we've done it. But I also don't know Hades well enough to know if that's the best place to end it or not. So it all depends on the game. And this is also why we'll probably play very few roguelites on the channel. While those are fun games, they are very difficult. By the way, we're at time.
Okay. Alright, where am I at? What's benchmark? Ooh.
We'll finish it next time. Definitely.
I'm trying to decide whether or not just to finish it now.
We're at 2 hours and 3 minutes.
This started at like... I think it started at like 2,260. And while we were talking, I went up another 100.
You'd have to go up 131.
I think I can get this done.
I mean, probably.
I think I'm going to try it.
Alright.
Like, it is so close, and it's probably the longest benchmark in the game to be this close. And I think I found a really good roof to do this on. And also this way we can continue the conversations about the channel.
Honestly, I've kind of run out of stuff to talk about at this point.
Come on, 3 benchmarks in 1 stream. We can do it.
I'm sorry, I have nothing more to talk about. We've gone over everything. We came back with Hot Take. You should watch the Hot Take if you haven't.
Yeah, we went and saw the Marvel movie.
Yeah, well, that's the Marvels.
I know what I said.
I know, I'm just saying that, like, maybe that's not the clearest. There's a lot of Marvel movies. But yeah, the Marvels.
I still plan to watch Loki season 2. I'm almost ready to watch it. I'm almost done with Jackass.
Hello, Carpet.
Hey, Carpet.
You're here at the end.
We're pretty much at the end, but I am finishing one of the longest benchmarks in this game before we go.
Yeah.
As I am that close. Damn it.
The building is hitting on you, or not hitting on you, hating you for. Yeah, I know. I knew what.
Take me out to dinner first.
Yeah. Look, you're jumping all over it right now. I think that you're well past first base. But yeah, the building's screwing with you right now.
But yeah, because we've been going to a lot of outposts and me like point launching, I have been working on the point launch benchmark the entire time, and to an extent the jump over the roof benchmark as well.
Yeah.
So if I can finish even one of those, it is worth it.
Yeah. Gotcha, Carpet. Yeah, I mean, once this benchmark's done, we're ending the stream, so it shouldn't be that long.
And we would have triumphed because, again, in my opinion, it is the longest benchmark in the game. So to get it out of the way would make me so happy. Let's see where we're at. Look at that. We're almost there.
Yeah.
I was at 369 the last time I checked.
Mm-hmm.
That is really good. That means I'm doing this at a reasonable rate. So it took doing other benchmarks to even get close to being done with this one.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane. Of course, this means I may be going between outposts slower now because anytime I'm swinging around, I'm going to be working on jumping over roofs instead of point launching. I'll still do it occasionally, but I'm going to be prioritizing jumping over roofs next. We're very close to being done. This is going to mean we only have to worry about 2 big benchmarks once I get the others done. And guys, the last fighting benchmarks are going to be more of a hassle because I have to get enemies. I have to yank weapons out of enemies' hands, certain weapons. They can re-pick them back up, and I have to wait for them to re-pick them back up if they pick them up at all, which would suck. So that might mean I defeat all the enemies without weapons and just leave the ones with weapons. I don't know. Or I can just go to base the base, disarm everybody, defeat everybody, then go to the next base. I don't know how I'm going to do it. Wait, Sly Skipper 2?
You're halfway there.
I thought we were on 3.
Nope. Okay, we're ending the stream now.
So that guys
Are there
go-
any? Yeah, I mean, outside of like the 3 at the bottom, everything else is on 3 now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's those 3
I
on
thought
3.
Skyscraper was on 3.
No.
Like jumping over the roof is on 3, but not Skyscraper.
Yep.
Well, that's gonna have to be it for today's episode. So like and subscribe to YouTube and Twitch. Comment to your videos if you read them. Follow on Twitch, and we'll see you guys in the next Marvel Spider-Man Remastered. Goodbye.
Good night, everyone.